Hey guys, today we're on number 3 of the top 10 things agents nationwide struggle with most, according to Tom Ferry. Took 250,000 hours of coaching, put them into AI, and it spit out the top 10 things agents struggle with most.
Yeah, so first, rendition 1
Was time
scarcity, no white space on the calendar. Number 2 was, with all this prospecting and things we're doing, how do we really leverage the listings and leverage the quality of client experience and making sure that we're not dropping balls when we're handling all these listings. And that led us into number 3 is after having all these deals, next you probably got to hire somebody, right?
So hiring for leverage and productivity.
Yes.
How do I even get started? It's kind of a scary threshold to jump through because it can feel expensive, but I need to give some of this away so that I can do more of the things that are revenue generating activities. So some of the pitfalls we see, and we talk about it a lot, is people tend to hire themselves
Yes.
or hire another big driver or hire for ego purposes.
Yeah, they hire really based off title. And a lot of people want that next driver, we're going to go kill this team together. We're going to go do 40 more deals a year. Well, usually when in that case, it creates a lot of ego buildup, a lot of like, oh, well, we're kind of like butt heads because there's a lot of, oh, well, I don't think this is right. And people have strong opinions when they're both high drivers. So first thing that we see a mistake or pitfall that we want to help our agents avoid is hiring somebody that is based off those low, tedious, kind of low paying tasks like admin or
inbox,
marketing,
taking showing calls and setting up showings.
Making sure you have a great TC for the paperwork stuff. So a lot of those little tedious tasks, like I think of social media. I hate social media. We may or may not have done a video and didn't hit record before this.
Who knows, right? Well, I think of my first hire. It was 2011. I'm starting to build the team, and I hired another awesome dynamic salesperson. So now we had 2 V8 engines doing all this stuff, and nobody was checking all the details or the emails or the schedules. We were double booked. It was chaos. It just didn't work. So because I made that mistake.
Yeah. So when you first hire, when you think of that, it's kind of, I heard it really well put one time, putting all your reds, yellows, and greens. So all your reds are all the stuff you hate doing. The tedious stuff, the admin, the entering into the CRM, making people who are in the drip campaign from the open house follow-up, making sure that they're getting all their follow-up of the emails, everything sent. Then what are the yellows that you can, you don't need to delegate completely off yet. There are things that you can handle.
Or maybe manageable. Like for VIP, I still do this, but for other people, you can give it away.
Exactly. And then green, like your largest money-making activities, being on the phones, being in front of people, the negotiation stuff, the lead generation. So those things, and then all the red and yellow, that's all what you delegate out. That's all the stuff that you hire somebody based off of what that task is and what they're doing, not based off adding more sales to the business.
Okay, so number 1 pitfall or thing to look out for is don't hire the best salesperson to drive numbers through the roof. Hire for what you're not great at, and then lower paying admin type stuff. Okay, cool.
So first thing that we see is people, like you said, hire for that V8 engine, but we know that having the first hire is the easiest thing to get off your plate. So adding CRM, those kind of things.
So now I'm out here hiring, and I want to get the right person on the bus and then find the right seat on the bus, but I'm hiring and I want to kind of give them a picture of outcomes that I want, right?
Right. So that's number 2. Number 2. We see this also pretty often when you hire. There's not that clear definition of what the clear defined responsibility role is. It's kind of like, oh, well, I need an assistant.
I'm busy. I need help.
I need help. Well,
that's the job description.
Yeah, that's what we get. When we get our agents that call us, it's, I'm busy, I need help. We're like, okay,
what are we going to have them do?
Right.
Let's create a whole job description almost. Like they're going to have a job, right?
Checklist. So having those clear KPIs, having weekly accountability. I think of our team, we have clear KPIs. We know exactly what we need to do daily. And we have pretty much daily accountability, making sure we're hitting those. We know our clear lane. We know exactly what we're doing. Our admin girl, Katie, she has a clear defined role of knowing exactly what she's doing. We don't ask her to stray outside of that, and
we don't have her make sales calls. We don't have her go to presentations. She doesn't go the occasional happy hour just to hang out with us, not even with clients. But that's her strong suit. She lives in that domain, whereas we live in our domain of on the phone, in front of people, in front of classrooms, teaching, coaching. and prospecting.
Yeah. So you have to build the role around the outcomes, not the personalities. So this is the outcome we need for building out, making sure these systems are in place. I need to make sure our CRM's up to date. That would probably somebody based off their task of being very detail oriented, making sure things are done, and not the personality of somebody that wants to be out in front of people and going out and having happy hours and drinks. That would not be a great suit there. Right. So you got to make sure when you're hiring, it's hiring on outcome-based things, not personalities, because they could be great first meeting, you get along great, but that person could be more of a friend. Like you might actually just like them and you want to hang out with them.
And if you're not clear that, like, look, one of your duties is going through the inbox and making sure that I don't miss anything, and then setting up my calendar because I don't want to be double booked all the time, and making sure that all the notes are in the CRM, and you might lose them. Like, you want me to do what? Like, that's just not even in my wheelhouse, right? And so, but if you don't have that in mind, that job description, hiring for that outcome, when you're sitting and interviewing people or talking to them about the job, you could just swing and a miss and hire a buddy instead of an employee.
Right, exactly. And then we know where that comes into. That leads into frustration because then you're not getting the outcome you wanted, but you really like the person, so then you feel bad and you don't want to fire them because you guys created such a good bond because you like them, because you guys have similar personalities, but then they don't have the outcome. So that's where we see that frustration come in.
You're doing more lunch and dinner and happy hour than you are working.
Exactly.
I've seen it.
We totally have seen that. Well, and then okay, Ryan, great. Now I know that I need to hire based off of the skill set of the outcome I need, which is admin task. I need to make sure that I'm not hiring another driver. I need to have these detail things done. So how do I put all that together?
Oh, I have to have a system, right? I have to have systems in place. I kind of have to have a little bit of my shit together before I bring somebody on and ask them to have their shit together.
Right.
So what does that mean? That means you're getting the most out of your day. You've got time blocking where these hours I do these activities. I have my lead origination, I have my showing, I have my follow-up, I put my fires out, I've got my self-care, my workouts, I've got my family times, I've got vacation. I've got a sense of how to manage my time. And I've leveraged technology. I've got CRMs that has some automation. I've got some leverage going on in the business, so I understand leverage, just essentially duplicating my efforts by having automation with tech. And then now I'm bringing somebody else in. I need to be able to describe their day to them, right? So if I can't describe my day to me, which we're in sales and we're part of the human condition, many of us leave the door and hope that the day unfolds well for us, right?
Yeah.
And that is what it is. Mm-hmm. But if you can control your day and help, because now when you hire somebody, you're going to be describing your day and their day to them. So if you're not in a position to describe their assigned tasks and their day and what it should look like and what they should be occupying their time with, then we need to revisit that before we hire somebody.
Right. I think of like documentation, your workflow, making sure you have checklists, there's templates, there's a CRM stages, you have very cleared out. You have your communication standards. This is how we communicate with clients. This is what we expect on how that's done. Yeah. Having those checklists and workflows so clear and defined, because I feel like if you don't have systems when you're hiring, that really creates chaos and not leverage. And we're trying to create more leverage.
That's exactly right. And it's unfair to you because now you're going to spend time chasing your tail trying to teach somebody every single day instead of taking the time to put some standard operating procedures together and be able to have a true job description of what they'll be doing. Because the more clear they come in knowing what they're doing, the less frustration, the less confusion, and the less breakups or hires and fires. You know, you see how many people have a revolving door on their teams of admin, and it's just because they didn't enter into it with a clear understanding of what the expectations were and the mark we're trying to hit.
I mean, we see this in sales all the time. We've seen this at our company, other title companies, escrow companies, insurance companies. People just get thrown into this job, and there's really no clear definition of what to do, how to do it. It's like, oh, well, just
go bring in title orders.
Go bring in title. Go to these networking. Go meet agents. Go to happy hours. Well,
that's the training. Go get them, big guy.
Yeah, that's very like, well, what do we do? Like, thank gosh, I had somebody who had clear standards of what we do daily, what we do. He did tell me. He said, hey, I can't quite explain the sales process to you, so you just got to come with me for 30 days. If you're here after 30 days and you're still making 25 calls a day and doing the happy hours, you got a job.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. You can bring in title orders, you're hired. then we were able to develop systems, because then we really started to know, okay, these are our jobs, these are our roles. We have Katie, we know exactly what's working, how it's handling. But a lot of sales positions do not have that clear training, especially getting into real estate. People get into real estate and they're like, cool, I can go to the bar, golf all day, hang out with girls. Like, what isn't that this whole real estate thing?
Well, if you can't manage your time, you're going to work for somebody who can manage your time for you. And that sucks.
Yeah.
It's a job. Nobody wants to be there. That's not why you get into real estate. So and the good news is, you just have to manage it a little bit. Like, you just have to time block and do the lead gen, and then find somebody when you do have all this business and have revenue coming in. You can hand off all the stuff you hate.
Yeah. Well, I feel like I said it today. It might have even been on the video we didn't record. But, it's if you don't run your day runs you. And then next thing you know, you're all over the place. And
That's
that
so
is
good.
Same with hiring, too. If you don't know the clear position you're hiring or the clear role you're hiring, that creates chaos. And that means they're going to be running you, telling you, oh, hey, this is how I did this, and this is how this is. And you're like, wait. That is not what we wanted. That's not what the expectation was. But
now, don't get all crazy and don't get all scared, because you don't need a 42-page PowerPoint with 13 bullets on each point on how you must take the call, and here's what you say. And you just have to be able to shape their day for them and cast vision of what needs to be done and segment out the activities that they'll actually be doing and the desired result. You can start there and then build together, so that at least they know what they're getting into, you know what they're getting into, and you have a plan, right?
Yeah.
It's just an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure 10 out of 10 times. So a little bit of preventative measures by putting a system together, putting an outline of what their job description is going to help you big time when hiring. And I've made all the mistakes. I hired myself. I hired a buddy. I hired wrong. And so
Until
Katie and Haley. But no, I knew the one thing I did know is I needed Katie to just do all the admin and the calendar, and I needed somebody to help me sell. And then it's taken from there. That's like about as much direction as we had. And then job descriptions came after the fact, and we've grown it from there.
And we were able to make standard operating procedures, those kinds of things, where if we were to bring somebody on, we could say, hey, this is your clear goal, this is what we want from you, and this is what we expect. Right. So if you're in this position and you're scaling your business and you've gotten to this point where you're like, man, I feel like I'm just no white space on the calendar. I'm really learning how to leverage all these listings and manage all them.
I'm about to move to Puerto Rico because I'm burnt out.
I need to hire somebody because I have so much on the plate. If you find yourself in these positions, please hit us up. We'd love to help you. We'd love to be able to coach you through it, be an accountability partner. We do this together with you. We're doing it too.
Learn from our mistakes.
Yeah. And walk us through your business and how we can see where we can fit in and help you with those strategies.
All right. Well, we'll be back next week with number 4. And until then, I'm Ryan.
And I'm Haley.
See ya.
Bye.